So we have reviewed chapter number 2 till text number 25, is it not? Yes. Yesterday. So we'll go forward. The Lord is saying, since the soul cannot be destroyed, you should not lament. I was just hearing, and then now he changes the theme. Up till now, he's saying that if you consider that, if you know the nature of the soul, you will not lament. But if you now take the opposite view, that you are the body, then still you should not lament. Up till text number 25, the Lord has told the truth that we are soul and not the body. We can come over here. This is a little higher because otherwise my neck pains. Although I'm not the body, but this neck gives a little trouble if it is too low. So, what were we saying? Yes, up till now the Lord has told that we are not the bodies, we are soul. So we should not lament. But now he says, even if you consider, even if means even if, you should not consider like this, but even if you consider you are the body, still you should not lament. File to wahi hai. If you like, I can resend it, but it's the same file. Just to help you. Okay. अगर आप अपने आप को शरीर मानते हैं तो भी दुखा करने की जरूरत नहीं, ये बात बोल रहे हैं अब यहाँ पे. Text number 26, please chant with me. Atha chayanam nitya jatam nityam va manyase mritam tathapi tvam mahabaho nayanam shochitum arhasi. Atha, the Lord is saying if. Atha means if. Cha enam. Enam means this soul, whatever living entity. If you consider that it is nitya jatam, it is always getting born, and nityam va manyase mritam, and it is always constantly dying. That means it is constantly taking birth and constantly dying, which is actually referring to the body. The body is constantly taking birth and constantly dying. So if you consider that you are only the body, why you are lamenting? Because body is just a bag of chemicals. Just like I was discussing with our Mohit Prabhu. So he had an argument with his ethics teacher, and he was saying everything is mythology. Now if you say, okay, leave everything whether it's mythology or not mythology, what is the value of your ethics if you only consider that we are this body? If we are this body, we are only a bag of chemicals. For chemicals, do you have any ethics? So ethics means there has somebody who's more rational. We can come a little bit like this, and I can see you. Yeah, now I can see you more. Yes, good. So ethics means you are understanding intuitively that I am not just this body. Is it not? Do you have any ethics for this laptop? Baby laptop, father laptop, mother laptop, feelings. So you must understand, as soon as we are talking about ethics, there is a person who's conscious for whom we will talk about dharma. Basically, ethics means dharma, actually. Karna chahiye tumko. That is the meaning of ethics. Otherwise, so if you are only consider ourselves as chemicals, then what is the point of ethics? Very strong argument against all these people who actually say everything is mythology. So how do you know who I am? From Bhagavad Gita, not from your book of ethics. Is it not? They never teach you who you are. So then, tathapi tvam mahabaho. Oh Mahabaho, you are a very exalted person. You must not think like this, that we are the body. But still, if you think, nayanam shochitum arhasi, you should not lament. Are you able to understand this shloka? If you are considering that you are this body only, or these people, Arjuna, Dronacharya and others are also only bodies, then who would lament for loss of chemicals? So many chemicals are wasted every day. When you see so many chemicals getting wasted every day, you don't lament. You don't say, whatever. You don't at least lament like the way you lament for your father. Yes? Now, Vipin Prabhu, your father is telling you to come back and earn 50 lakh rupees for him. Suppose he leaves the body. So he will anyhow leave the body. Suppose he leaves the body. You will cry a little bit? Obviously. For whom are you crying? For the body. The body is still there. And soul you have not seen. So that soul in ignorance is instructing you to waste your life for him to earn 50 lakh rupees. So should we listen to them? That you should think about. I was just hearing Srila Prabhupada's lecture, and he said, all these relatives are temporary. In a fraction of a second, the whole things will change. Our real relationship with this Krishna, And we should be focused on reviving that relationship. That is the main business of the soul. Anyways, so it's a side point. The point here is, even if you think that you're the body, still you should not lament. Because it's a bag of chemicals only. Okay. जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युर्ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मादपरिहार्यार्थे न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि. जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युर. Anybody who has taken birth. Now the Lord will tell him now he must do his duty, because he wants to take Arjuna to the section of Nishkam Karma Yoga. When that means a person must do his duty without being attached to material results. So he will tell this point. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu. Jatasya means a person or something which is born. Somebody is born. Dhruvo, it is dhruv, it is atal, it is unshakable truth that he will have to die. And Srila Prabhupada explains elsewhere that you cannot ascertain it that everybody dies by your empirical understanding. Empirical understanding means trying to test everybody. Can we test everybody? We cannot test. So we must know that anybody who has taken birth must die. So in the course of doing our duties, Dhruvam Janma Mritasya, and anybody who takes birth will also die. Anybody who has taken birth will die. Anybody who dies will take birth. Sorry. Dhruvam Janma Mritasya. Anybody who dies will take birth. Now you may say, then how will I become liberated? Yes, if I die. That means if I am dying and I am having material attachments, then definitely I'll take birth. Does it make sense? So this is going to happen. And now it is interesting, very interesting point also. Anybody who is going to die, it is not that he will not get the body. He will get the body. Either spiritual or material. And all these people are going to die in Dharma Yuddha, so then definitely they will get good bodies. Yes. Are you able to understand this point? So tasmat, therefore, apariharyarthe, something which cannot be avoided, aparihar, which cannot be avoided, some duty which cannot be avoided, for that artha, for that purpose, na tvam shochitum arhasi, you should not lament. Whatever has to be done, we should not lament. Are you able to understand that Lord is focusing on this point, that you should not lament? Constantly saying don't lament, because a person who's lamenting cannot practice spirituality. He will only lament. So I've given this example before also. Go forward. And what form of lamentation, or what is the cause of lamentation? I did not get this. I did not get that. And that's how we also lament. And you will see how by practicing Krishna consciousness, this all lamentation goes away. A devotee becomes satisfied. I have service to Krishna. I have association of devotees. I can chant Hare Krishna. 2 times I'm getting prasadam. 3 times, okay. And I'm happy. And you can also understand, I am progressing towards Krishna. As the illusion goes away from your heart, this becomes more and more reconfirmed. I am progressing towards Krishna. Krishna will take care of me. It's not that we become irresponsible, but it's a natural faith which comes in your heart. You don't stop worrying about things. And you must be noticing how by doing sadhana every day, only thing which is in your mind is sadhana. Morning program, do some service, take rest. Evening program, then take rest. Morning program, do some service. Is it not? It kind of eclipses your consciousness. And it's good, is it not? Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. This is very powerful, more powerful than what we think if we do it day after day after day. Mangalarti, Chapa, Guru Puja, class. Sadham, take rest, whatever, sub service. Again, same thing over and over again. Only difficulty is very few people can do it over and over again. Because some people like to have some change and other things in their life. Difficulty is how much you want to have the change. For us, we should not lament about these things. Whatever has to be done, whatever sadhana has to be done, whatever service has to be done, must go on in Krishna consciousness. That is a practical application. So he gives a very interesting example. about how the bodies of the living entities are manifesting from the unmanifest. जीरो से शुरू हुआ एक तरह से जीरो मीन्स इट इज प्रधान and then when everything will become destroyed they will all enter into pradhan only. So that's what Lord is saying. So don't worry so much about it. अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्त मध्यानि भारत अव्यक्त निधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना. Avyakt is referring to the stage of pradhan where the modes of material nature are 1:1:1 and there is no creation. So the living entities come out from Mahavishnu. They're impregnated into pradhan, and the Lord agitates the pradhan with its time shakti, and then it manifests as mahatattva, and then false ego is erased. So from there, all the bhutanis, all the living entities are manifested, as well as all the elements of this nature are manifested. Whatever you are seeing is created from that, from pradhan, which is always existing. Vyakta madhyani bharata, O Bharata, O son of descendant of Bharata. Bharata refers to Arjuna. And they are manifest for some time here. Then avyakta nidhananya eva. After destruction, they will all be into avyakt itself. Tatra ka paridevena. So what do you worry? In a simple way, they start from zero and they are manifested for some time and then again go back to zero. Zero, I mean, don't want to say zero, but I mean to say unmanifest. Because pradhan also is something, it's not exactly zero, but it doesn't have a form, so to speak.
It's a source.
It is a source of material ingredients. So we know that energy is not destroyed. Same way. So what do you worry about this? Again and again, I'm repeating, the real worry is why this fellow did not practice Krishna consciousness after getting the human form of life. That should be our lamentation. Why I am wasting my life for things which are not of any value. That is the lamentation of a devotee. But other things we should not lament. Okay. Now somebody says, you are saying so many things about the soul, but people can't understand it. Why like that? So then the Lord answers this one. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidena Ascharyavat vadatati tathaiva chanyah Ascharyavat chainamanyah srunoti Shrutvapi enam vedana chaiva kaschid. Quite interesting. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidena. Following the instruction of the spiritual master, some people are able to see the soul and they are amazed by it. Is it not amazing? Since the time we have taken this body, we are the soul. Prabhupada explains that the soul, the energy in the heart is coming from the soul. And you see, the soul never becomes exhausted. The energy of the soul never becomes exhausted. It is giving the energy to the heart. That is quite amazing. Have you ever thought when we were given this body, from where this pumping of the heart started in the beginning itself? The heart itself is material. So how it can pump on its own? Even just reflect upon it, how wonderful it is that we get a body just starting from a seed and the whole body develops with all that intricate organs and eyes and all that. And a person never questions who has given it and for what purpose. Especially human form of life. That itself, the birth itself is a miracle. So Ascharyavat means they see that the soul is very amazing. They are actually able to see the soul. There are these people who have actually practiced Krishna consciousness under the guidance of the spiritual master and they are able to see the soul. Ascharyavat vatati tathaiva cha anya. Anya means other people. They talk about the soul as very amazing. Everything around us is changing, but the soul is not changing. Is it not amazing? Do you think it is amazing? Do you think that soul not having the quality of change is amazing? Yesterday we discussed, is it not, Vipin Prabhu, you have never changed since the time of birth. Do you agree? What you are speaking so softly, even my old ears can't understand. Never gets changed. And we never think about it. Is it not amazing, Mahit Prabhu? We have never changed all throughout our life. And maybe those who are husbands, their wife will also say like this, you are like the way I had married only, no change. Rascal number one. Is it not? Sometimes my wives use this dialogue only. ये तो change ही नहीं हुआ, जैसा था वैसा ही रहा. But she's telling you the absolute truth. Yes, I am like that. Everybody is like what he is. He does not change. The soul never changes. Okay? This is interesting. Asyarvaccha enam anyaha shrunoti. So some people speak the soul as very, very amazing, and some people hear it as very amazing. They can't understand it. And some people shrutva api enam vedana chaiva kasyit. Even if people hear, they can't understand that we are a soul. Now you say, Prabhuji, we understand we are a soul. How much you are attached to the body, how much we are attached to material acquisitions, then you understand whether we are soul or not the soul. If I'm attached to fame, if I'm attached to women or whatever, money and all those things, I have still not understood that I'm soul. Even if I am not attached to women and money, if I'm attached to fame in this world, which is a very great attachment, then also I'm foolish. I have not understood I'm soul. समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? I mean, we don't have to be discouraged, but we should make a real estimation of our life. Like I'll make a joke now with one devotee. Yesterday he wanted to buy a bullet. I said, in Vrindavan, you buy a bullet, then it will increase your false ego that you have this body. Okay, let us make a small meditation. All of us want to wear very nice clothes. Yes? No problem, no problem. Go ahead. But just if you leave this body, would you like to dress this body very nicely, even just when you stand outside and look at your body? Now think about it. Have you ever reflected? I must have at least a 5,000 rupees, what is it? Specs. People are like that. I told you about one person who says, unless I wear 10,000 rupees spectacles, I don't feel comfort. Only thing is, one time he came for prasadam. I said, why are you wearing a cheap spectacles? He said, because of the monkeys. I said, see, Vrindavan will force renunciation upon you. Now, even if you want to wear a 10,000 rupees specs, you cannot wear. But just reflect upon it. Just die for a second, and then you see how much value will be there in decorating this body. So we are not saying don't cover the body. We are definitely saying cover the body properly, fully. But with plain clothes. Why plain clothes means? Simple understanding. Obviously, unless you are if a Mataji is married to the husband, then she has to be a little bit whatever, decorate herself nicely. But otherwise, if people want to live a Krishna conscious life, you should actually live very simply, even in terms of clothing, because it increases your bodily consumption. His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu makes a joke that every time he wears a new dhoti kurta, he feels I have the body. He was saying that every time I wear a new dhoti kurta, I feel I'm the body. Have you ever felt like that? How do I'm looking? Nice. Dhoti kurta like that. We don't say you don't wear all those things, but try to see, are these things increasing your bodily consumption or not? They do actually. Prabhupada explains that we should not dress very luxuriously. Simple clothes. Not dirty, but not luxurious also. I must tell you my own realization on this. In our Gomata products, they are giving us simple dhoti kurta, and I purchased simple dhoti kurta. And just Natwar Prabhu is explaining about a very brand, good quality dhoti kurta. 1,800 rupees, which was available for 1,200 rupees. And the mind was giving the signal, oh, you'll be very happy if you buy this dhoti kurta. So you see, and then you have to apply the philosophy. No, it's not like that. You won't be happy by this, any dhoti kurta. Just buy a simple dhoti kurta and be happy with that. A real sadhu or sadhavi is that person who takes very less from society and gives more and more. So we minimize our needs naturally. The more you have, the more you will think that we need to have these things to exist. So I am saying all those things. We must try to live like souls. Engage in bhakti as much as possible. Minimize our bodily needs as much as possible. We do not say that you don't wear sweaters in the winter season. But do not expand. We should not expand our bhogas.
Yes.
We don't expand our needs. Okay. I had a good experience. I gave up the bed. I feel the same sleeping on the floor with little some mat as I have had on a bed. This doesn't make any difference, is it not? So this is very important. That's what Srila Prabhupada wanted to save our time to realize Krishna are our soul. This is a very important point. So hearing this also, people do not understand. Hearing that we are soul, we will not understand. For most people, they won't understand because they have not gone through the rigid discipline of following sadhana under the guidance of the spiritual master. So it's not an easy thing also. नहीं समझ पा रहे हैं उसने हमसे ऐसा कहा था हमसे ऐसा कह दिया साहब ऐसे कह दिया आपको बहुत बदतमीजी करी हमारे साथ ऐसा कर दिया वैसा कर दिया इज नॉट पीपल मेक अ whole day they will waste on this. He said this to me, he said this to me, and he did not listen to me. He does not know who I am. He does not know who I am. I will show to him who I am. First you see yourself who you are. हम दिखा देंगे उसे हम कौन है तुम देख लियो हो तुम कौन हो. Is it not? It works like that. Guru Maharaj very nicely he put it that once the first realization a person who realizes the glories of Krishna, anybody who has little bit realization of Krishna's glories, he will become very humble. I am very small. And it doesn't put you in depression. It frees you. Freeze, not F-R-I-Z. Freeze, F-R-E-E-S. It frees you from this hankering to be center of this universe. It's a very nice feeling. आप पता नहीं समझा पा रहा हूँ कि नहीं. When you understand actually I'm insignificant, but it does not, but you also feel love of Krishna. You feel Krishna appreciates your service also. It's not that I'm insignificant and Krishna will not appreciate. Leave it. Krishna appreciates my service, but I don't have to endeavor to be in center of this world. पता नहीं मेरी बात आप समझ रहे हैं कि नहीं समझ रहे हैं. I have to be in the limelight. I have to be in the spotlight. This kind of hankering goes away. Let Krishna be in the spotlight. Can you appreciate?
Yes.
Then we are tending towards being soul. Okay, text number 30. So he says that again, same point. देहि नित्यम अवध्योयम देहे सर्वस्य भारता तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि. Dehi nityam, the possessor of the deha is eternal. Avadhyoyam, it cannot be killed. Dehe sarvasya bharata, and it is happening with all the living, all the bodies. Tasmat sarvani bhutani, that's why for all living entities, natvam shochitam arhasi, you should not lament. It is quite interesting. Gopal Prabhu was telling Prabhupada disciple that Prabhupada used to tell, so you must understand, I am not this body. So you should understand that I am not his body. So they were thinking, oh, Swamiji is not his body, but we are our bodies. So that's what they were thinking. So we should not lament for anyone. Okay? Lamentation will kill our Krishna consciousness. Okay. Now the theme will little bit change. Lord has given Sankhya knowledge or knowledge of Atma. But now he will tell something about from the perspective of Karma Kanda. That Karma Kanda means Karma Kanda means you do your activities and you will get a great benefit. So why he's saying this here very carefully? Even if you do your duties as a Kshatriya with an expectation of material rewards, still it is very good. So, but what to talk of doing your duties as a Kshatriya in a selfless attitude? Let us first chant this and I'll explain. Swadharmam api chaveksha navikampitumar dharmayadhi yudhachreyo anyat kshatriyasna vidyate. Swadharm api cha aveksha. Iksha, you understand? Iksha means to see. Swadharm api cha veksha. If you see your dharma, this is my duty. Na vikumpatum arhasi. It doesn't deserve. You don't deserve to become vikampit. Vikampit, you understand? Trembling. Oh, how I will do my dharma. How I will do my dharma. No. Dharmayad hi yudhat shreya. Anyat kshatriyasana vidyate. That fighting, that yuddha, that fighting which is done for dharma. There is nothing which is greater which is more beneficial for a Kshatriya. Anya Shreyo Anyat. This is nothing which is Shreya means beneficial in the future. There is nothing more beneficial for the Kshatriya to fight a righteous battle. Kshatriyasya na vidyate. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा? Up till now the Lord has told about soul and don't lament. Now he's telling, no, this yuddha is, this fighting is for dharma, and for Kshatriya it is very good if he fights a righteous battle. Why? He will explain. Yadrichaya chopapannam swargadvaram apavritam sukhinah kshatriyah partha labhante yudhamidrisham. Yadrichaya cha upapannam. This opportunity to fight a dharma yuddha has come of its own. You did not want it, this fight, is it not? But still it has come to you. Swargadvaram apavartam. And it is very good because it is opening the doors of Swarga to you. The Lord is talking about liberation? No. Now you understand? He is talking about Swarga. Sukhina Kshatriya Partha. This Kshatriya is very, very happy if he get this opportunity to fight a righteous battle, because if he labhante yudham idrisham, if he gets a fighting opportunity like this, idrisham means like this. Are you able to understand this text number 32? This kind of fight, which is on the basis of religious principles, will make a Kshatriya very sukhi, very happy. Oh Partha. Partha means you are a Kshatriya. How it is coming on its own. You are not planning. This fighting is coming on its own. You know that Krishna was sent by Yudhishthira Maharaj to do Mandavali. Mandavali, you understand? Mandavali, it is a Maharashtrian word, I believe. Maharashtrian word. Mandavali means to negotiate. And amazing that he was negotiating, but he did not. He was negotiating from outside. Krishna also is a little funny. Not little funny, very funny. He was trying to make Duryodhana understand from outside. From inside, he would not let him understand. He won't let him understand. And Duryodhana said, no, without fighting, Lord Krishna has proposed, see, the Pandavas are Kshatriyas, they cannot become beggars. So they have to rule. So you give them 5 villages and they will live very peacefully. And they won't disturb you. But then he said, no, without fighting, I will not even give land which is occupied by the front part of the tip of a needle. So this fighting was forced upon Pandavas, is it not? It's not that Pandavas were eager to fight. So the Lord is saying it is coming on its own. So what better thing for a Kshatriya to do to get an opportunity to fight a dharma yuddha? Now can you see the Lord is not talking about soul here in this shloka? Are you able to see that? Is the Lord talking about liberation here? He only talks about going to Swarga. So here very carefully, if fighting a dharma yuddha with a material desire to go to Swarga is good, then what to talk of fighting the dharma yuddha in a mood of nishkam karma yoga? For the pleasure of the Lord. Are you able to understand? If you chant Hare Krishna, will all your material desires get fulfilled? अरे कुछ भी पता नहीं बुद्धू कहीं के, किसी को खाना देना आज. Yes, you don't understand this much? All your material desires will get fulfilled if you chant Hare Krishna. If you want a bullet, you will get a bullet also. Don't worry. But it's a fact. Nam Chinta Mani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. I think now you must be really liking the Hare Krishna mantra. But in due course of time. It's not that you are chanting Hare Krishna today and tomorrow you will. But all your material desires will get fulfilled by chanting Hare Krishna. So if I say, even if for fulfilling material desires, if for your fulfilling your material desires, Hare Krishna mantra will work, what to talk of chanting Hare Krishna without material desires? If you do bhakti with material desires, it is very glorious. So what to talk of doing bhakti without material desires? You will get love of God. Now you understand? Just an analogy. I am not telling you to do bhakti with material desires or whatever. I'm just bhakti kaise bhi kariye bahut acha hai. So now if you get an opportunity to chant Hare Krishna even with material desires, is it not good? Very good. Now in a similar vein or in a similar way, the Lord is explaining, if you have got an opportunity to fight a dharma yuddha, this will Even if you are fighting with the material desires, you're going to get Swarga. So कहाँ नुकसान है आपका? There is no harm in it. Are you able to follow? This flow has to be understood. It makes it very interesting. So now what he's saying, but Lord does not want Arjuna to fight to go to Swarga, but just to establish the point of following the duty. He's saying this. If you follow your duty as a Kshatriya, at least you will get Swarga. On preaching also we say this. Are you chant Hare Krishna, Swarga is a consolation prize for you.
Yes.
Even if a person drops from bhakti, he will go to Swarga. What to talk of a person who will chant continuously all his life? Make sense? पता नहीं समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है. ठीक है. But now he says, if you don't do your duty, then it will be very bad. Now it is interesting. Swargam refers to being killed. You can't get to Swarga in the same body. So even if you are killed, the doors of Swarga are open for you. Apavritam, they are open. Even if you are killed. If you win the war, then you will anyhow enjoy the kingdom here. But if since you are willing, we are fighting a dharma yuddha, if you do your duty as a Kshatriya, you will go to heaven at least. And you remember Arjuna was thinking, no, I'll go to hell and all those things. That was wrong. Okay? Atha chetvam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tatah sadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsasi. Atha, therefore, chet means if. Therefore, if you, imam dharmyam sangramam, this dharma, sangramam means fight. If you don't fight this righteous battle, na karishyasi, if you don't do this, tatah swadharmam kirtim cha hitva, you will give up your swadharma of fighting as a Kshatriya, you will give up your fame as a great exalted warrior, and papam avapsasi, and you will also get sin for doing that. Are you able to understand? The argument of the Lord till text number 30, is it not 31? 30? Since 31 onwards, the Lord is not talking about the soul. He will just addressing him as a Kshatriya. How a Kshatriya should behave.
Yes.
Does it make sense? So he has explained, even if you fight this battle to go to Swarga, you will go to Swarga with material desires. And if you don't fight, what will you lose? You will lose your Swadharma. Because not following Swadharma is very bad. You will lose your fame, and apart from that, you will also get sin for not doing your duty.
Yes.
Okay? But what is the difficulty? I can tolerate infamy. If Arjuna says this, then the Lord gives the argument. You remember all these things flow we have discussed in the commentary? Very, very tasty, when you see the flow. Akirtim chapi bhutani kathashyanti te avyayam sambhavitasya cha kirtir marnadatirichyate. Akirtim cha api bhutani. Bhutani means all the people. Kathishyanti te avyayam. For long time to come, for eternally, they will talk about your apkirti or bad fame. Dekho, what kind of warrior he was? He left the battlefield. He surely must be very, very, how does that? Coward. Even now you see, Birhanala, when Arjuna was in the form of Birhanala, and his chariot driver was, she was the chariot driver, she or he, whatever you can say. And she was driving the chariot of Krishna, absent-minded. Viranala was driving the chariot of Krishna, Uttar. And Uttar was running away. So still you discuss, after 5,000 years also you discuss that Uttar left the battlefield. He was a coward, is it not? Now for Uttar it is not a big thing because he's not a great warrior. But for Arjuna, if somebody says Arjuna is a coward, it's a very great disgrace. You know that past time when Yudhishthira Maharaj spoke to Arjuna that you are a coward, you should give up your Gandiv. And Arjuna immediately took a sword to kill Yudhishthira Maharaj because he has taken a vow. Anybody who says to give up this Gandiv, I'll kill him. So he was not a coward. I mean, I am not such a fighter, not a fighter at all, so to speak. I cannot fight. So we cannot understand what is the mood of a Kshatriya. So he's saying that for you, you can't tolerate little bit of insult, and they will insult you eternally, whole life, and after that also. Just like even now, we know Rana Sangha was very powerful and valiant. Rana Pratap was very valiant. We don't talk about their cowardice. Is it not? Jhansi ki Rani, really powerful. Still we are talked about, is it not? And all those people who had cheated against the kings, even the kings got defeated, still we glorify them. See, like what is it? Shivaji, so exalted. Is it not? So this Sambhavit means exalted personality. Bhavya means that's why here in Kintu Prabhu Yaha Priya, what is that? Sakshad Harittvena Samast Shastrai Uktas Tadha Bhavyata Eva Sadbhi. Bhavya means exalted people and Sadbhi means sadhus. So Bhavya means great people. Sambhavitasya means very exalted person. For exalted, very exalted person like you, Cha akirti maranadati richate. It is worse than death. Are you able to understand the second line? Sambhavitasya means like manushasya, of human beings. Sambhavitasya means a person who is very exalted. Of that person, for that person, cha akirti, for him to get infamy is worse than death. Samajh rahe na? So you cannot say I can tolerate this akirti. You can very easily tolerate arrows. You can actually tolerate death also. You can tolerate being killed in the war field, but you cannot tolerate infamy. I mean, when you speak like this, you feel like being a Kshatriya. We are not like that. But it is actually like that. And they are trained like that since their childhood. No, don't show your face in the war. You get killed, no problem, but don't show your face. It's not an easy thing. Now, people are not Kshatriyas. They just take a warplane and we may be discussing Bhagavad Gita and they drop a bomb on us, who knows. That is not Kshatriya fighting. It is difficult and it's not easy to fight like that. Face on face with war and with sword and everything, we cannot fight.
They fight at night.
They don't fight. They drop a bomb on you. I heard that they are so expert now that they can be sitting in their office and they operate a bomb or something like that. That's what they did in, what is that, Iraq or something? No, not Iraq. Just recently they killed some person from somebody was killed like that. It's like video game. Yeah, let's kill some few people around here. Let's drop some bombs here. Yeah, like that. I know that. So, but what will they say? That the Lord is saying. Bhayad ranad uparatam mansante tvam maharatha yesham cha tvam bahumato bhutva yasya silaghavam. Bhayad ranad uparatam. Bhayad, out of fear. Ranad uparatam. Rana means Ranakshetra. That means battlefield. See, he left because of fear. Uparatam means he left. Bhayad ranad uparatam. They will not say, oh, Arjuna was so much compassionate, he was so much respectful to his Guru Maharaj and spiritual masters and like that, and that's why he did not fight. No, they will not say like that. Bhayad ranad uparatam. This fellow ran away. They will use this word. This fellow ran away just because he was fearful. Mansyante tvam maharatha. What does mansyante means? They will consider tvam maharatha. This maharatha means the great generals will speak like this to you. It's not the ordinary people. Yesham cha tvam bahumato. Those who considered you very great. Bahumat. Bahumat, you understand? They considered you very great, very exalted. Bhutva yasyasi laghvam. Lakhu means very small. They will consider that you are very small. Nobody will value your compassion and so-called whatever feelings. No. Suppose you actually leave your family and join Brahmachari ashram. People will not talk less of you. Ultimately, they will say, he was such an exalted person who dedicated his life to Krishna. Nobody puts me down now, is it not? Nobody puts me down. They will ask, oh, from IIT you were there and you are giving up your life to Krishna, surrendering your life to Krishna. They don't know how happy it is to surrender life to Krishna, is it not? But if anybody just gets married and have 4 or 5 kids and lives a materialistic life, who cares about him anyway? He dies like an animal only. Who cares? Do you care about, do you glorify somebody? Oh, very exalted. He had 10 kids. we never, we never, nobody glorifies it now. He has 30 kids and 20 wives. Nobody glorifies that. So even now, Bhishma Dev also is glorified. Everybody, you surrendered, Prabhupada is glorified. He surrendered his life to Krishna. Just think about that. So I'm just saying that even in our fighting against Maya, we are practicing Krishna consciousness. A person who even attempts to practice Krishna consciousness is glorious. What to talk of a person who becomes actually Krishna conscious? It's a fact. So you understand what they will speak? Bhagya, bhagoda kaika. All those things he will say. And you must remember that Kurus, that means the Kauravas especially, will speak very bad words. Very bad words. It is natural that a Kshatriya cannot tolerate these things. So the Lord is inciting him. And they have nothing to do with soul. Right now, all these arguments with the Lord have nothing to do with soul. The Lord is giving the argument based on a bodily concept of life also. I will tolerate it. No. You won't be able to tolerate it. And that's what he says in text number 36. Avachavadancha bahun vadishanti tavahitah nindanastav samarthyam tato dukhataram nukim. Avachya means avachya vadans. Avachya. ये बोलने लायक नहीं है. This is not supposed to be spoken. That is called avachya. ये तो आपने बहुत खराब कहा, ये तो बोलने लायक, ऐसे बोलते हैं, is it not? This should not be spoken. Avachya vadans. Something which should not be spoken up for you, they will speak that words. And bahun, how does that? Many vadishanti. It's not that one or two people will speak. Many will speak. Now you see, just for example, our Karanamrit Prabhu makes very beautiful prasadam, very nice prasadam. If somebody criticizes, one person criticizes, he feels bad, naturally. And suppose everybody in Krishna hall says, you are a useless, I hope he doesn't hear this recording, you are a useless person, you made worse quality prasadam, how will he feel? Amarnath Prabhu? Very bad, is it not? I'm just giving an example. What is, my dear Karanamrit Prabhu, you are a great exalted devotee, exalted servant of Krishna. I'm just giving an example. If somebody says like this, okay, let us pick up somebody more. There's a devotee here who is very good in designing. And suppose he presents a design and everybody says, horrible design. What is this? Who told him to design this? So, why they are saying like this? So you naturally say, why they are saying like this to me? It is very difficult to tolerate. I did something. I tried to do something. They could have at least told me by message or something, you know. Words are more painful. Even somebody slaps you, won't remember that. But words people remember. I remember, tell you a very interesting incident. One very senior Mataji, so she was telling me, when she came after her marriage, that means 30 years back, she made a halwa. And her mother-in-law said, mother-in-laws don't like the daughter-in-laws anyhow. They don't have a good chemistry. If she has used good products, so it will be good. Acha dala hai to acha bana hai. Completely, washing away all her love and affection. So she could remember even after 30 years. Why I'm saying this, it is a Laukik baat hai. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains this. A person can tolerate arrows, but the sharp words he remembers always. That's why blasphemy is the highest offense to any person. Be very careful about it. And that's why Hare Krishna mantra is very powerful. Krishna remembers you chanting Hare Krishna. Words are very powerful. But anyhow, I'm trying to say that Krishna is telling Arjuna, bhai tere se sahan nahi hoega. They will speak words which absolutely should not be spoken about you. Avachya vadanscha bahun vadishanti. And many people will speak like this. Just try to situate yourself in Mahabharata scene where Arjuna, if would have returned, how the Kauravas would have made fun of him. Unless, what is it? Duryodhana, and then who's the other person, Mukesh Prabhu? Who are the other people would have made fun of Arjuna?
The Karna.
Karna, Duryodhana, and the Shakuni. Ha, ji! Like this. Nindanatastav samarthyam. They will criticize your samarth, useless, inak, hinjra, all these things he will use. Bhagya, coward. Tato dukhataram no kim. What will be more painful for you than this? समझ रहे ना? Okay. हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम् तस्माद् उत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनश्च. हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गम. If you get killed, you will get swarga. Jitva va bhokshase mahim. If you win, then you will enjoy the whole earth. Tasmat uttishta kaunteya. Therefore, O Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, you please rise. Yuddhaya kirtanashya. You fight with determination. Okay. So up till now, that is starting from text number 31 to 37, the Lord is not talking about spiritual benefits. Are you able to see that? Yes. It talks about material benefits. Material benefits which will accrue or come to a person by his doing his duty, and material, how to say, नुकसान क्या बोलेंगे? Material loss which will come by not doing your duties as a Kshatriya. Are you able to follow? Now the Lord wants to develop or instruct Arjuna to do the duties as he is supposed to do without expecting material rewards. And then that is called Nishkam Karma Yoga. And because to develop that theme, he will now switch over with a different argument. Hear this. Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayau tato yudhaya yujjasva nevam papam avapsasi. But if you fight being equanimous in sukha and dukha, happiness or distress, labha or labha, gain or loss, jaya jayu, victory or defeat, tato yudhaya yujjasva, and in that mood you fight because it is a duty as a Kshatriya to fight, nevam papam vapsasi, you will never get sin. So now the Lord is talking about Nishkam Karma Yoga. So in Nishkam Karma Yoga, a person like Kshatriya will do his duties of a Kshatriya because it is duty to fight as a Kshatriya. But he is not attached to the result material which will come from it. Does it make sense to you? He is not fighting to go to Swarga. He is not even fighting to get a Kirti or Apakirti or anything. He is just fighting for the sake of fighting. Make sense to you? And in that way, spiritual knowledge becomes awakened in their heart. Be very careful about this. So with this proper knowledge, I am soul. Again, the point of soul is will be brought here. I am soul, I am not this body. I must do my duties without material attachment. And then the spiritual knowledge becomes awakened very fast. Although I am acting externally, but the result is internal. Abhi ye samajh mein aa gaya to bahut aanand aayega. This is a foundation for Nishkam Karma Yoga. Or as we'll map it to Bhakti Yoga. Doing Bhakti Yoga also, I must do my duties regardless of happiness or distress or gain or loss, all these things. I must do my duty of my whatever, chanting 16 rounds, other things. I must do my duty. This is extremely important. If I want to develop attachment to Krishna, if I actually want to be liberated, I must come to the platform of doing my duty. Otherwise, dharma can also be performed out of fear. You remember the Lord used that technique. You will get apakirti, fear, or you will go to hell. And then the higher level is rag. You will go to swarga. Lowest level is fear. If you don't do dharma, Allah or God will kill you or whatever. He'll punish you. Above that is swarga, rag. I'm not sorry, rag, not lobh, greed. Rag is the highest. Lobh. And above that is duty. I must do my duty. That is mode of goodness, the perfection or no performance of dharma as per mode of goodness. I must do my duty. And from there you become actually liberated. Are you able to understand this point? And then from there, the sense of duty, if you do dharma as per a duty, and even bhakti, then you can develop to rag, attachment to Krishna. This is a very, very important point. So this is the platform the Lord is preparing Arjuna to develop or practice Nishkam Karma. Let's see next. What is the next shloka? We'll stop here. We'll mention this. एषा ते विहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्म बंधम प्रहास्यसि. एषा ते, all this abhita I have told to you, described to you, Sankhya, from the point of Sankhya Yoga, soul and not the body. And the last portion is not Sankhya, it talks about material rewards. But when he was talking about the soul cannot be destroyed, soul cannot be killed, that was part of Sankhya Yoga. So up till now, Arjuna, I have explained to you from the point of view of Sankhya, Buddhir Yoge tu Imam Shrunu. Now I will tell you something about from the point of Buddhi Yoga. What is it, Buddhi? I am soul, I am not the body. And how to realize my soul? Do my duties from with detachment. That is how it's called Nishkam Karma Yoga. And the same way do our bhakti also. We do not do bhakti to gain material rewards. Then spiritual knowledge becomes awakened in our heart very fast. Are you able to understand these points? समझो कि मैं आत्मा हूं, है ही आत्मा, और जो हमारे कर्तव्य हैं उनको निष्काम भाव से करें तो आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान बहुत जल्दी प्रकट होता है. So to develop this point, he's saying, up till now I have explained to you about, from Sankhya Yoga. Now I will tell you something about Buddhi Yoga.
Yes.
कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा. You are servant of Krishna or not? So when you do bhakti, your goal should be how I can realize my relationship with the Lord. इसके लिए बुद्धि चाहिए कि नहीं? Do you need intelligence? That the Lord will explain. आप समझ में आ गया? वही बात तो समझा रहा था. Anyways, buddhya yukto yaya partha, being endowed, having that kind of intelligence. Yukta means having that, and having that kind of intelligence. O partha, karma bandham prahasyasi, you will cut the bondage of karma. If you take prasadam, will you get karma? So one should have that intelligence. I will take prasadam, I will not take food. If you chant Hare Krishna, will you destroy your karma? Yes. Make sense? So all those things, इसके लिए बुद्धि चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए? We need to have intelligence. So the Lord will explain about that in the coming shlokas, and then he will glorify the power of this Nishkam Karma Yoga in text number 40, but that we will discuss tomorrow. I purposely stopping it here because the whole theme of Buddhi Yoga will be explained by the Lord, and again the Sthita Pragya point will come. So like that. I'll just take up some questions if there are any. Foolish wala nahi sun paye. I don't know what is it. Prabhupada called unmanifested as black matter. Not black matter. I mean, unmanifested, I don't know where you're talking about. Black matter, it is pradhan. Heart pumping is done by soul, but as soul we are not aware of it. Please explain more deeply for our better understanding. It's very simple. The heart is matter. Is it not? Heart is matter. How it is getting pumped? Something, and it was matter from the beginning on. So from where it is getting the energy? Soul is giving the energy. Simple. We are not recording lecture today. Who told you? No, we are recording. But you reminded me a little quite later, 8:35. I think YouTube live sign not appeared. Yes, I did not make it live. We have lesser speed. Fear of not following hell, follow then go to heaven, Nishkam Karma. More time explain, fear of not following hell, follow then go to heaven, Nishkam Karma. So Lord has told that if you don't do your dharma, you will get akirti, you will get pap, and you will, what is that? And you will go to hell, papam. So with that kind of motivation also, people are told to follow dharma. But that is the lowest level, that's the lowest level of fear, doing dharma out of fear. But then another way of asking a person to do dharma is to promise him rewards. That also Lord has told. But now he wants to bring him to the sense of duty. You must do your duty no matter what is the result of that action. And in that way you will not be bound by the actions. Not by the reaction of the action. It's too much knowledge, too much philosophy. I have taught this everything in detail. I'm only reviewing now. Kindly repeat the points that goes to rag. I missed it. Okay. First is bhay, then is lobha,
Yes.
and then is duty, kartavya buddhi, and then is rag. So you can't preach that you be attached to Krishna. That doesn't work for most people, most of us. We have to preach kartavya buddhi. I must chant my rounds. I must pay obeisances to Krishna this many times. Does it make sense? This, even if you are doing this, you are very exalted, very exalted. Because most people are doing dharma either out of fear, कत्ल कर देगा हमको भगवान कत्ल कर देगा and God will kill us or will send us to eternal hell, or they are doing it for material rewards. So both the situations you will not be liberated. But if I have to do with Kartavya Buddhi, we become liberated. His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj told a very nice lecture. His name is Power of Liberation by Sound, something like that. Before I will just touch upon it, he said that most of the people preach, you follow our sampradaya, you'll do like this and do some mantras and do like this and you become liberated. But it doesn't work like that. Unless I follow dharma with Kartavya Buddhi, I won't be liberated. I'm repeating it, the point, unless I do dharma with Kartavya Buddhi. This will be told again and by the Lord Himself. Datavyam iti danam diyate anupakarane deshe kale chapatrita tad danam satvikam spritam. A person does, for example, he does charity. Yes. But why? Because I must do charity. Diyate anupakarane. I am not thinking that I am giving some upkar or some favor to you. It is for my self-purification. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Anything, any dharma you are doing, it should be done as a matter of duty. At least. Then you go forward, then from there you can move forward to rag or attachment to Krishna. You had a question? Yes, bro.
See, you mentioned like fear.
Hmm.
So fear of losing mercy is also good.
Fear of losing mercy. That's a good point. Fear of losing mercy must be there. If I commit offense to Krishna, I may not get his mercy. But that is not that's a different thing. That one should have. I must not commit offense to the holy name. I must not commit offense to the Vaishnavas. I must not commit offense to Krishna. That is a different thing because you want to be attached to Krishna. Makes sense? But normally fear means I'll go to hell, I'll go to hell, I'll go to hell, like that. I mean, we have to preach also like this. Are bhaiya sharab mat pina band kar do, bahut narak jaoge. We have to preach sometimes like this because that's what a person can understand. Or even if you chant Hare Krishna, even with material things, whatever you feel, it will be fulfilled. I tell to Network Prabhu, he asked me, Prabhuji, earlier Magic Masala was not getting sold even 2 batches in all over the year. Now we have sold 15 batches in few months. I said, you keep on chanting Hare Krishna in the morning. So now, just to inspire him to chant 16 rounds, because for him, particularly he has a Vaishya Buddhi, his success of life is good business. And that I can't help it, he's a Vaishya. So for him, it is just like this. Everybody has a different consciousness. So sometime, seeing that person's consciousness, we have to speak. Okay, whatever you desire, it will be fulfilled. And it's a fact. And then people chant Hare Krishna like that. But as they keep on chanting Hare Krishna, they will get purified and they will understand what I desired was not of any value. That has to come on their own from them. Okay? Best one, Prabhuji, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. No, everybody cannot go for Sarva Dharman Parityaja. No. You can't preach every day, everybody Sarva Dharman Parityaja. You have to say different folks, different shloks. Different shloks for different folks. Good level 3, better level 2, best level 1. Dharma out of fear, I know it is mode of ignorance. You cannot say really good, but it is some dharma has to be followed. And fear is not better. Well, it is better than tamagun. And best is not even best. Best is rag, out of attachment to Krishna. But that we cannot do immediately, but at least a sense of duty. And you will see that duty also converts into rag. Like, we are not just discussing Bhagavad Gita out of duty. 8 a.m. Now Bhagavad Gita. It's not like that. We become attached to discussions also, is it not? It's not a duty puri karni hai. Bhagavad Gita discussions are really tasty. Anya vilashita shunyam. I know, understand, yes, but for most people, they cannot immediately start Anya vilashita shunyam. So whatever, even if Anya vilashita purnam, I mean, even if we are full of desires, you should again only approach Krishna and then slowly we get purified. But an intelligent person will think about serving Krishna selflessly. That brings result very fast. That's a fact. Okay? And most of the devotees have chapatis ready for them. What do you want? Everybody has, क्या कहते हैं, रोटी कपड़ा मकान है कि नहीं? So what do you worry? What do you want more than that? Naturally, as you practice Krishna consciousness, you don't want anything from Krishna. Only hankering is, when will I get love of God or attachment to Krishna? That is natural quality of hearing Bhagavatam and hearing Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So there are no questions, so we'll stop here. We'll meet in the evening. It's about Chaitanya. हाँ, प्रश्न बोलिए.
आपने बताया इच्छा होती है कोई मटेरियल भक्ति करते हैं सो प्राप्त कर जाए इच्छा तो चाहते हैं ना निष्काम सेवा करें लेकिन कुछ समय बाद फिर इच्छा आ ही जाती है एंड मोमेंट तक हम भक्ति करते हैं इच्छा नहीं कोई तो स्वर्ग तक नहीं जाएंगे.
Prabhuji is asking that we want to serve Krishna selflessly, but desires come anyhow. So at the end of our lives, if we have a desire, will you go to Swarga only? Even if you go to Swarga, still you won't be contaminated. That's the power of bhakti. If you go to Swarga by bhakti, we will enjoy as long we have want to enjoy. We will not fall also from there. And when we become bored, then you go back to Godhead. It's so powerful. If you go, this you will see directly in the commentary in the 7th chapter. If a devotee goes to Swarga by bhakti, he first of all he will not fall. And if he had a desire to go to Swarga, the desire to go to Swarga means see what kind of enjoyment is there. और उसके बाद उसकी भोग की इच्छा जब समाप्त हो जाएगी तो भगवान के पास चला जाएगा. You will see directly in the commentaries. So ultimately there is no sakam bhakta. Everybody will become nishkam. If one devotee is present here, if I would have told him, don't marry, he would have listened to me. I don't know. Now people will not understand whom I'm talking about. He's one of my first students. Now you'll understand. And I heard that it did not turn out so nice. Is it not? He will not even move his head because people will know. It did not turn out so nice. It has not turned out nice for anyone. Matajis will think differently. No matter what Mataji is, she will only think differently. And she's correct. She's always correct. And Prabhujis will think differently. Always. We are not made for each other. Guru Maharaj says that. Matajis and Prabhujis are not made for each other. They are made for Krishna. And Prabhupada says, Mataji is good, Prabhuji is good. Together, very bad. Fighting. And if you actually pointed out what was the result of the fighting, there was no fight. There was no result. Just, you're not talking to me, you're only going to kirtan and this and that. It's complicated. And this purposefully Lord has made like that so that nobody becomes happy in Grihastha life. So I'm just saying, if I would have told that devotee, he would have not listened. So go ahead and see whether it works for you or not. I will not take his name, but everybody understands. Okay? So then when it is done, then a person understands. Oh, it's better that I practice Krishna consciousness, I'll be happy. There was one brahmachari in our ashram. Prabhuji, mera sar dard kar raha hai. My head is cracking. This is such a difficult service. He simply had to put a mic stand in Mangalar. Such a difficult service, not switch on the button. Such a difficult service. Then he got married. And now he's doing much more than that. He's working so much. And then he was telling to some other person, Prabhuji told me, I just went for my sense gratification and I'm suffering. So like that, I mean, I'm just saying, even if you tell, what I'm trying to say, kisi ki bhautik ichha hai, even if you tell that you don't desire, it's not that he will stop desiring because of saying. So you let him get purified by bhakti and then automatically he will stop the desire. Make sense? I hope it makes sense. Okay, I will leave you now here. It's a very important service we have to do now, is it not? Yeah. I think you forgot about it. So I will leave you for prasadam. Shrimad